Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsWithTheD.com. Mike and Jay are here. Ephus is back. Shalom, E.
Shalom.
Welcome home. Jay, how are you, my friend?
Perfect, thank you. I'm just staring at a dude with candy bracelets on his arm.
Oh, my God. E.
I know, I didn't take them. I didn't have the heart to take them off yet. I
Look
will
at
today.
that shit. They're like multicolored little beads. All
Yeah.
these bracelets he's wearing. Some of them have words on them.
You know, what's cool about this is I only made one of these. All the other three were traded to me.
What do they say on them, E? They clearly express something.
Of course.
Ash.
Well, this one,
Ash
yeah,
from Virginia?
Yeah, I hung out with her all on Saturday, pretty much.
One says ass. Was that to commemorate?
You know what's funny?
certain
That's
moment?
actually hilarious. You know what I like about that one is ridiculous. Is I met some guy. We were walking by. If you have an EDC hat on, just because it's such a big festival, people tend to be like, "Oh, EDC, you know, which one did you go to?" And so we started talking for a little bit, and he's like, "Do you want to share bracelets?" I'm like, "Let's do it."
Oh my God.
And it was him. And it was.
Dude, do you have any idea how gay that statement just sounded?
Well, I mean,
whatever. To each
it's
their
not.
own.
It's not. I mean, it's for one. It's him and his girlfriend walking together, and I was walking
Right.
with a girl. It's two guys and two girls walking separately and meeting each
Do
other.
you want to share bracelets?
Yes, that's definitely what you
That's
want to
the
do.
line,
That's
huh?
definitely what you want to do. And then you do the handshake thing. You know, there's a handshake. You do this. You put your two piece fingers together, and then you make a heart. Then you connect hands, and then they take one and you take
you
one.
you two guys did that?
Oh my
Right.
God.
I gave. Then you hug at the end too, actually. But
Wow.
it stands for peace, love, unity, respect.
Right on.
And
Did
so
you
anyway,
take a
what's
knee?
no.
Okay.
But what's funny about that is, so I took one. He just gave me one. You don't usually ask. You know, usually they give you one, and it's supposed to be how they're feeling at the time. And I told him later, I'm like, dude, ass is like literally the most, because I'm just immature. So I think that's like the only thing that could have been there is just like poop or penis or something. Because I told him I thought it was perfect. And then this one is from this one was the one I mentioned before. This one with the turtle on it. That's
from your family.
my new Ray family.
Yeah.
So
Are you allowed to take that one off, or is that like a wedding ring?
I'll take it off. I'll take it off today, but I wanted to leave it on one more day, I guess.
Right on.
So
Well, E,
anyway.
welcome back to
Thank
the real
you.
world.
I know. It is quite the fantasy world when you're at these things.
Yeah, I understand that.
Was it nice to get away from the Lions game or
It sounds like it was.
or the stories of the country losing their mind over a bunch of overpaid athletes taking a knee?
The Lions game, it's funny. That was the only
He had
thing
no
I
idea what
missed.
happened in the Lions
I know,
game, dude.
that's funny.
That's the only thing I was bummed about. But, I think, honestly, sports is like, I still love sports. And if a team's good, I'm definitely going to be into it. I love watching. But I just realized more and more that sports doesn't really give you, I don't know, it doesn't give me as much as it maybe did at one point. Whereas when I'm at this thing for a weekend where it's like, sports is just like, these guys are athletes and they're making money. It's really, it doesn't do necessarily anything for me.
Yeah.
Whereas in going to something like this, to me, where the music is giving me a feeling that I don't get.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade that experience for a kick in the nuts Lions game. is
No,
what you're
I
saying.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I mean, if they're winning and it's fun, like you kind of say, Jay, at times, yeah, whatever. But if the idea of sticking with some team that they just suck all the time and I'm getting mad.
It's good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Turn a corner.
It's hard not to have that opinion. I mean, we're just rooting for colors.
Right.
We're rooting for logos. I mean, that's really all it is. Does it even matter who's on your team?
I know, and I do. Don't get me wrong. Like, again, the Lions. I like the Lions. I'm still I consider myself a Lions fan and stuff. It just happened to be that I didn't. I remember thinking I was going to check the game. I remember thinking like, oh, I'll check, and then all of a sudden Monday hit. Like almost almost home somewhere in Ohio, and I was like, shit, dude, I never checked if the Lions won or not.
He had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, Isis.
It was great.
Yeah, welcome back.
I was
Good to
worried
have you
about
back.
you with all the heat. It was so hot
Dude, it
up
was
here, and I knew it had to be balls
So
hot.
fucking hot, dude. The
Stayed hydrated.
The only positive with a lot of these festivals is because, and it's really definitely because of the drugs. They can say it's not, but it's because of the drugs. They tend to all offer free water stations everywhere as opposed to making, Like, dude, you go to Faster Horses, you don't get free water. You have to buy water if you want it. And at these festivals, and I know some of it's because they know people are doing drugs, and you have to stay hydrated.
They don't want anyone dying.
Right. It's not good for
They
festivals.
had some problems last year, though.
Oh, they have problems with every fest. I mean, every festival still has people. I mean, you walk by the medical tents,
Yeah.
and there's young kids on, that definitely just took drugs and are. I would say alcohol, but you just know it's not. You know it's from doing other stuff and not being
Molly.
hydrated. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned football. Detroit football fans know it's not a tailgate until the Kowalski comes out, so fire up the grill, sizzle up some sausages, ice those beers, and unfold the chairs because it's time to tailgate like a king. Just tell them Mike sent you.
Well, I guess we're on, what are we on, day 3 now of the country losing their mind over taking knees?
Is the country losing its mind, or is
Yeah.
the media losing its mind?
Maybe it's just the media.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't traveled the country and taken any polls or
Not in
anything.
the last couple days,
No, I just haven't had time. I wish I could, but
We get
so
it.
I'm
Rich
stuck.
elitists hate Trump. We get it.
Yes. It was interesting because the Cowboys played on Monday Night Football and against the Cardinals, and so it was like, what's going to happen? What are they going to do? Are the Cowboys going to take a knee? What are they going to do?
Well, the funny thing is that you say what they're going to do. I mean, I guess if you're there, it's a story. But like, I've never. They don't even play the national anthem on TV.
Oh, they do now. It's
Like,
it's
I know,
the
but
biggest highlight of the game now.
I know, but you don't think about that. You never saw them sing the national, unless it was like a playoff game, maybe, or the Super Bowl. But
Well, it was classic Cowboys last night because the rumor was that Jerry Jones has been very proud that no Cowboy has defiantly taken a knee, and it's like the only team in the league because his directive was don't even think about it. Like Jerry Jones, behind the scenes, apparently told his team, "Don't fuck with this. Do not do this. Don't be a solo guy," and was like threatening to fire people if they did.
And there he is, kneeling with everybody.
Well, sort of. This is classic
Prior,
Jerry
right? It
Jones,
was
dude.
before the performance of the night's national anthem.
Before the national
Yeah.
anthem. Oh my God, I was laughing so hard because as soon as they all get the whole team at midfield gets down on one knee for 15 seconds, the crowd is booing without mercy. I mean, they are just like, boo, the whole crowd. And Jerry gets this smirk on his face.
Sure he
like,
did.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like in Deadspin, they're like, this is bullshit. They go, the NFL loves nothing more than a hollow branding opportunity. Just
Yep.
look at the self-satisfaction on the face of Cowboys owner Jerry Jones when he knelt uselessly with his team before the performance of last night's national anthem. That's the look of a man who knows he's taken something that has nothing to do with him and turned it to his own ends. Look at him. It's true.
Yeah. You just got to look on his face like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I know. And as soon as they started booing loudly, he was just like, yeah, I got you. I'm trying to keep peace in my locker room, and this is the closest I could do, and I'll be goddamn if I'm going to do this during the anthem. So do this 15 seconds before the anthem. Hilarious. It was classic Jerry Jones, and I found myself absolutely laughing hysterically at this. I think Jerry Jones sees the big picture here, and he's got, he sees the reports of money being lost, ratings being lost, CTE. Like, this game is in serious trouble if they're not careful. And, he knows where his bread is buttered, and it's not, the country is not behind these players. That's the fact. Your audience is, vast majority is white men who work, who are former military guys,
Yeah.
and they don't
You say
believe in
NFL
this.
fans are not behind it, but a lot of the country is behind it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for these guys, if people start turning their TVs off, that's a real problem for Jerry Jones. And so I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, he'll be fine. He's a billionaire. But I don't know how the NFL backs out of this, but they cannot keep this up for very much longer. Do you think? I mean, do you see them being able to, keep having this?
Dude, it'll be like everything else in the news. It'll come and go. It's at its high point right now.
Yeah. I
It'll
don't
begin to wane.
Yeah.
Interest will be lost. I mean, it'll forever more be a thing where people kneel. It just will.
Yeah.
It's been ruined.
Well, it's too bad because, if you listen to the players, they're all just screaming to anyone who will listen, no, it's not about disrespecting the flag or the country. It's about X. And a week ago it was about, police brutality. I think
There's
was
a
the
million
point.
other ways they could have protested then, but
Yeah.
they chose to disrespect the flag.
And that's the disconnect. And that's what they're not, they can say that all they want, but all the rest of the country sees, or the majority of the country sees, is Motherfucker, you're taking a knee during our national anthem. I mean, dude, think about times you've gone to a game. You're standing in the beer line and the anthem starts playing. Your buddy will smack you with his hat. Get your hat off, son of a bitch. Show a little respect
Not
for
me,
your
because my hat will be off already.
I've done that before where I'm not paying attention. It's like,
Mike.
You know
Hey,
what? I gotta
dick
say,
face,
I
get
don't.
your hat off.
I don't. No offense, dude. I always take my hat off if I'm in the arena. I don't think people always take your hat off if they're walking in the concourse.
not always, but I've had people
Okay.
say stuff to me
Okay.
when because I've been in that position in the beer line and the anthem's going on in there and I'm not aware of it.
Did I ever say that one time? I don't know if I ever told this story, but one time when I was a kid, I was at a Tigers game and I was real up close, and I was trying to get autographs, and then they started playing the anthem, and I didn't take my hat off. I don't know how old I was, probably 7-ish. And Mickey Tettleton, I don't know if you remember Mickey Tettleton,
hell yeah, I remember.
but he's like, "Hey kid, hat off," or whatever.
Really?
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh,
And-
that's hilarious.
And actually, what's kind of funny, and I don't know if he did it because he remembered me from earlier in that game, but then after the game, same thing. I went down to try to get a ball or this or that, and he handed me his bat from the game that day, and I still have it. But it was funny
Dude,
because
I didn't know you had this bond with Mickey Tettleton.
He's scolded by Mickey Tettleton.
And he got a bat from
It takes a
him.
village, you know.
But yeah, I totally remember that. I mean, think about that now. By the way, now that I think about it now, like you talk about parents, like the idea of a parent saying something to some other kid. But like now it'd probably be on social networking, like I can't believe it. But
We don't say thanks to a good girl because that means there's also a bad girl.
yeah, that's a
so
good.
we don't do that. So it's the village is crumbling a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
right.
is.
You just lean over, he's like, "Hey, kid," or something.
Hat off. Yeah, he'd probably get in trouble now for yelling at someone else's kid.
Oh, I'd run
You know,
back to my
that'd be
dad, and then it would be on Facebook tomorrow,
yeah.
and that'd be viral, and then
a-
he'd be
Tettleton
fired.
shamed me into being a patriot.
He'd be fired. He'd be off the roster the next day because it'd be on Facebook and viral. And
Yeah, he'd be hated by half the country. So I think with this going on, I think the players are not seeing what the rest of the country is seeing, and that's the sad part. I think, the national anthem to me, and whichever way you stand on this issue, whatever. But the national anthem, I think, is supposed to be bigger than a team, an individual, a player, a president. It's supposed to rise above all that. And so while the intentions might be very good and it might be well intentioned by a lot of these players, the perception to the country is, motherfucker, you're making this about you during our national anthem, and it's disrespectful, and they're just not going to fall on the side of that. And so,
Since when do elitists have their pulse on what the country cares about?
well,
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
They don't know, dude. They
Well,
live in a
and the
different
thing
world.
is, it's all just
I
now
know.
just about that America's just a racist country. That's the thing. They're. It's just why it's okay to say the things about Trump because they've just decided he's flat out Hitler now. So now you can do anything as far as disrespecting him because he's not really the president in their mind. He's Hitler. And honestly, if you think about that's the funny thing. I hate to always say that, like, if you don't like it, get out. But I'd like for them to, if you think that this is such a terribly racist country, please go to another country on the planet that's not racist or doesn't have racism in it.
yeah,
I'd like to
doesn't
find
exist.
it.
I know.
Which one is that? Please.
I know.
Hey, it's time for Ram Power Days at Zott M59 Dodge Ram in Highland. Not only will you get a world-class new and pre-owned buying experience, but you can also shop the Zott Speed Shop, full of custom accessories and one-of-a-kind upgrades. Plus, during Ram Power Days, you can lease a new loaded 17 Dodge Ram 1500 4x4 crew cab for just $169 a month. Yes, that is a badass Dodge Ram for just $169 a month. Surf their sensational deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
I smell bullshit on this story here. Remember how much praise that Alejandro Villanueva got for coming out and actually
Steelers player, yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers player who put his hand over his heart, and we predicted yesterday he'll have the #1 jersey sale in the country, which he did. His jersey shot up; it was #1 in sales yesterday. A left tackle for a football team, but he,
I'm shocked to even sell that jersey.
I know it's probably you probably had to order it from the pro shop and have it made specifically, but. This story, I don't know that I believe. I'm not calling him a liar, but I don't believe this. And he says it was all a big mistake. I didn't mean to throw him. I threw my teammates under the bus. And whenever I see that picture of me standing alone with my hand over my heart, I feel shame because I disrespected them and blah, blah, blah. And so the whole team is kind of coming out like, oh, we're supposed to do this thing where we all stopped at the tunnel and then Alejandro missed the cue and he kept going and so we respect him and this and that and that's why the coach was like, oh, I thought we were 100% behind this. Ben Roethlisberger has now come out and is like, yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I thought more and more about this, and the guys were bringing the flag off the field. They had the big flag out there, and they got in our way, and so we couldn't go past them, but only Alejandro could, and we were supposed to be there with him, and I'm like, dude, okay, really? So the only guy that made it out onto the field just happens to be
Army veteran, West Point grad.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're supposed to believe, his job is to protect the quarterback, and I think he's trying to do that still. He's trying to protect his quarterback. He's a guy that believes in team unity and blah, blah, blah. But I just don't know that I believe this because it seems too coincidental that he'd be the only one to make it out on the field. You know what I mean? All right. Colin Kaepernick, your boy Colin. I know you hate talking about these stories, dude. I'm sorry. Colin Kaepernick.
I don't mind talking about him, but I feel like we've talked about him. I don't want to be like the rest of the media that talks about it every fucking day when I don't know. I don't have much new to add.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Did you have the video of Colin Kaepernick he was caught up with yesterday? And this, I think, is a nice shirt, by the way. You see his shirt?
Dope.
Just says dope. It's a quick video. Someone catches him on the street as he's going in to work out in New York. Go ahead and hit play. He's going to work out in New York.
Mr. Microphone here.
Yep.
In full effect.
Sure.
Hey, Colin. How you doing, man? I just ask you what you think about all the take the knee stuff, and President Trump, and everything that's going on right now.
Oh, we're
Is it a
okay
huge
right
shock
now.
for you now, or?
We're
Shut up,
actually
bitch.
going to work out right now.
Oh, he can't
Yeah,
answer that
it's
question.
just not. I mean, obviously this is
Work
like
out.
the biggest.
He is such
talking
a
point.
dolt.
Yeah.
You got everyone backing you up. You got the NFL coming out. You've got team leaders. You're being called some pretty choice words by the
I
president.
appreciate the offer, but I'm not doing that today.
You're not
Thank
gonna
you.
talk to
When are
us
you
today.
doing it?
Yeah.
What off?
And that's kind of where I was going to go with that is like, dude, why isn't this guy saying anything?
Because he fell into this issue. He had no idea what he was doing when he did
Do
it.
you really think that? That
Yes, I
he
totally do.
He didn't plan for anything to be this big?
It was an impulsive thing. He sat. He had no idea what he was doing. He's a fucking dolt.
Yeah.
He's
Well-
the worst flag bearer of this issue that you could ever possibly pick.
Well, it does seem funny, seeing as he's got, the guy's half white anyways. He was raised by two white adoptive parents. The idea that he grew up with, like, I don't know. He's had every opportunity and he's made more from this country than anyone. And I don't understand, like, when it's blowing up like this, like, why he wouldn't come out and do an interview with 60 Minutes. Talk to a guy on the street.
Because he
What
doesn't
is the
trust
issue?
himself. He's an idiot.
You think so?
Yes, I do. I think that's why people are afraid to speak up, because they don't trust what they'll say.
Yeah. Well, Major League Baseball, we got our first guy taking a knee there for the A's, and along with a high school band, they all took a knee. And then, I don't know if you saw the grad student at U of M.
No.
Who?
Oh, right. The protest yesterday.
Yeah. Does he look a little weak there on that knee? Does he look like he's faltering? Appears to be
what do you
losing.
mean?
Like, he appears to just be like hanging on by a thread. Like he's trying, but it's like it's hot out here. I'm exhausted.
Should go more Tebow. Maybe better balance if you Tebow it.
You think so?
Is that allowed?
It would give you balance if
Yeah.
you put fist to forehead like T. Isn't that what he would do?
No, he would go across, I think. You go across. You create a bit of a figure four.
He wasn't doing this? Or was that just his end zone?
Yeah, I mean, he ended up with it on his forehead, but I think that the key is to have the elbow across the knee.
Oh, to balance,
Gives you
to give you some leverage and stability. Sure. This is another one of these heroes. Look at me moment. He's a grad student, and he knelt down on campus all day to protest social injustice. Dana Green Jr., I guess is his name. Drew quite a crowd as well. Trump has made it harder for people who look like me and people who don't look like me to walk this campus, to feel comfortable in our own skin. I'm here to tell him and our campus president that what we are dealing with is not okay. It's not right.
People are losing their shit and will continue, I guess, for 4 years.
If I have to kneel here until my knees bleed, that's what I'm going to do. Just make sure you look at me and take my picture.
So he's still there?
I don't know if he's still there. E, you want to go there today? Maybe make a trip to Ann Arbor?
Oh,
Is that our boy Bob?
Is it really?
yeah, that looks like him, doesn't it?
It's got to be, right? What was his name again?
Yeah,
the CDO?
Robert Schilling
Might
or
even
something
say
like that.
there in the caption. I don't know if it would say who's shaking his hand, but I'm sure that's him.
Does he have a really long tie?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Green explained during the protest letter he wrote a letter to the president at the U of M, Mark Schlissel. He denied he was disrespecting the flag. I feel like I'm honoring the troops because they gave me the right to do this. The university president released a statement, of course, supporting this kid. How could he not? I support his right to engage in peaceful protest. I have spoken to the student, and we plan to meet as soon as I get back on campus. I want to work together with all of our campus community to make U of M a more welcoming and inclusive place. I hope despite the differences that exist in our nation, we can unite in the name of equality
Are they
and
going to let
justice for all.
I mean, Michigan, like, being more inclusive? Like, what does that mean, by
of
the
all
way?
schools.
Right. It's the most pompous of any fucking school as far, you know what I mean, as far as getting in and who is allowed to even be in there. Like,
Yeah.
Very diverse school.
right. Yeah. Very.
I don't know what else he
A
wants.
lot of very smart white people and a lot of very smart I don't. Never mind. That was going.
finish your
that
thought.
is going somewhere
No,
bad.
no, you were- no,
nope,
no,
I'm
you-
not finishing that thought.
Finish your thought.
No.
You said there was a lot of smart white people and a lot of smart.
Not finishing that thought.
Why not? Was it racist? Was it a racist?
I feel like
thought?
I will not articulate it to where it won't sound bad.
So were you going to say like a lot of smart black people?
Not gonna, dude. Fuck you. I made a mistake. I realized I made a mistake, and I'm not finishing it.
a lot of smart
Fuck
gay
you.
people. Like I
No,
just didn't
not
know.
finishing it. It was
What
a
was the
stupid-
next round of people?
Never mind. I realized that was fucking dumb. It was, and I wish I wouldn't have. The minute I started saying it, I wish I wouldn't have said. No,
I know, but now it's out there. You're the only one that has the answer about what you were saying.
Fuck you.
A lot of smart people don't get in because they're not diverse enough.
Yes, there we go.
Oh.
Sure.
What's so bad
Yeah,
about
what's
that?
so bad about
Because
that?
that's fuck you.
Because that's not what he was thinking or gonna say.
No, a lot of smart white people. And were you going to say a lot of black people who get in because they're?
I'm not finishing
grades
it.
aren't
Not
good enough?
finishing it. That was stupid.
Jesus.
I'm really not happy I even said it.
Well,
so.
which group do you
I
want to
can't believe
apologize
you even
to?
thought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which group do you want to apologize
Not
to?
apologizing. I didn't say anything. You know what? You say so much fucking shit. I am definitely not the racist in this room, by the way. So
now I'm a racist. You were about to say something horribly racist, and now you point the gun at me.
I am not the racist, he says.
How am I the racist?
Every room has to have one.
Unless you were talking to Jay. Were you talking to Jay or me?
I'm not. You got to
Which one
press
is the
me on a
racist?
fucking
Clarify.
thing. I don't
Am
wanna
I,
finish.
identify
are you
the
calling me a
racist.
racist?
Did you just call Jay a racist?
I'm done.
Fuck.
Hold on. Let's define who you called a racist first.
Yeah, which one of
We
us?
all.
Go
if
ahead.
there's a racist in this room, it's not me.
Who is it?
I don't
is
think
it?
it's Jay.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Why would you work for a racist? That makes you a fucking asshole.
He doesn't
You
work
know
for you.
what?
He's a subcontractor.
Why would you
Let's be clear.
subcontract work
I'm
for a
not doing.
racist?
You know, it's so
He
dumb
does
that
not
you know.
work for you.
Does he really think I'm a racist? Do you really think I'm a racist?
No,
E?
I don't. Of course.
Then why would you say that?
Because I was just trying to be funny at first,
How
and then
about
of
if
course you
someone's
took it.
closest to a
Of course,
racist,
I was just
Mike?
trying to be funny to like get out of the situation by make a joke, and then of course you had to take that even further.
Boy, that didn't feel like a joke. It felt like an attack personally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't know what that's like in here.
Now you're claiming I attack people.
Yes,
For no reason.
I'm not claiming that. I'm making that as a statement.
I got very thin skin.
Wow, I'm been called a racist and an attacker here in the last 3 minutes. Welcome
my
back. E. It's
God.
good to have this. Good to have you back here.
Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen. We're number one. We're number one.
What happened? Are we like the fattest city again?
Well, we're probably that too, but we're the most violent city in America again.
Dang, I thought D.C. had that from us for years.
No, St. Louis
More than
stole it.
Chicago.
too,
Yeah.
Really? I mean, South Side is like a freaking war right now.
Like per capita, though, right?
Oh,
No,
How do they do it?
we've regained the title of most violent city in America 2016, witnessing more murders last year than Los Angeles, which has 4 times the population. That is unbelievable. This according to new FBI crime figures. Police Chief James Craig is like, oh man, I don't buy it. I ain't buying
He's just
that.
not
Nope.
accepting it.
Yep.
I'm doing my job.
Just because it's coming out of the FBI doesn't mean it's accurate. I reject it.
Really?
Yes.
That's his quote.
That's his quote. He says his own data using new software systems shows violent crime went down 5%. So he took issue with their number for aggravated assaults in Detroit. He said theirs is inflated by over 1,000. According to the FBI data, Detroit saw 9,882 assaults in 2016, but the DPD data says there were 8,916 that were reported in Detroit. According to the 2016 Uniform Crime Report, 13,705 violent crimes, including murders, rapes, assaults, and robberies, were reported in Detroit last year. That's a 15.7% increase from the year before.
Wow.
The jump got us back to number 1, though. Not bad, right?
God, that's a big jump.
It is. So it was the number one on a list of most violent cities in the U.S. with populations of more than 100,000. So rounding out the top 5, let's see. We got St. Louis, followed by Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee, really. Baltimore and Rockford.
No, I've heard from, you always think we hear Memphis and the barbecue, and like, I don't know what their kind of main stretch is, dude, but I've heard people really bad things. My sister went to Memphis. I remember she was doing like I forget, it was kind of like some kind of charity thing where like a spring break charity you could do at OU or something. And they told people like, do not go alone down the street. Like,
Memphis.
Yeah.
In Memphis. Yeah, I guess he's pointing to some old system we used to use called CRISNet or CRISNet in Detroit, where cops would enter whatever. Oh, we had a murder, we had a rape, we had an assault. And then Michigan State Police would take those numbers and forward them on to the FBI. But I guess his take is that sometimes those numbers are wrong, where it's like, at first it looked like a murder, but then we realized it was a suicide and it never got changed. Sometimes we double added them, human error. So things like that.
Doesn't that happen all over?
Fair argument.
Just in Detroit?
Well, they've got a new system now, so
Gotcha.
apparently the new system eliminates human error.
Now I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, we were out of that top spot, and I thought you were right. Where did you say, D.C.?
Yeah, I thought D.C. took it over, I don't know, a decade ago and was holding on to it. But now that you say Baltimore and St. Louis, that makes sense.
Yeah. Rockford, that's got to be Illinois, right? Rockford, Illinois? Yeah, I don't know why Chicago's not in there. I mean, they're in the news constantly for murder. I mean, it's like every weekend they're setting a new record.
Well, it's per capita, though, right? So they've got so many more people that it...
No, we had more murders than Los Angeles by like 18, with 600,000 citizens and to their 4 million or something. I mean, yeah.
Wow. It's too bad.
Remember Larry, Otto Warmbier?
Oh, yeah.
Larry?
Yeah, so he was he went to North Korea.
Yeah.
And where was he? Where was he, in China? And then, like, on a week-long
Yes.
trip or something, a tour, he went to North Korea.
Yes.
Was checking it out. Stole a sign allegedly at a hotel, kind of a propaganda sign to take home as a memorabilia.
Yeah.
Got caught, imprisoned. Of course, North Korea lets him go. They let him go to us, and he's like comatose.
Yeah.
He had been beaten, tortured, whatever it was.
Well, his family, his parents gave their first interview today to like Fox News or something this morning. And they've revealed for the first time the truly horrific state that he was in after being in North Korea. They say their son was blind, deaf, had mangled teeth. That's like the first thing they saw when they laid eyes on him. They were like, what is going on here? Fred and Cindy Warmbier, the parents. They heard a howling sound when they walked up the steps of the private medical plane carrying their son. We walked over to the plane. The engines are still humming. They had just landed. We got halfway the steps. We hear this howling, involuntary, inhumane sound. We weren't certain what it was.
He's just brain damaged.
They quickly realized it was Otto as they saw him screaming and jerking violently on a stretcher. He had a shaved head. He had a feeding tube coming out of his nose. He was staring blankly into space, jerking violently. He was blind. He was blind and deaf. Wow.
He's brain damaged. Did they have any idea?
How did they Helen Keller him like that?
Did they have any idea that he was in this state when?
No.
No. Shit.
No.
No warning?
Yeah. So we looked at him. We tried to comfort him. It looked like someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. We were only told he had suffered brain damage. The reality of his injuries were much more severe than they could have ever imagined. What we pictured, because we're optimists, is that Otto would be asleep, maybe in a medically induced coma, and then when our doctors here would work with him, he'd get the best care and love that, and that he'd come out of it. He spent his final days jerking and moaning in the tortured state before he died at the University of Cincinnati.
Am I right?
What?
Who won? That's how I'd spend my final days.
He spends his days jerking and moaning all the time.
Come on, a little respect, E.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how I spend every day, jerking and howling.
Yeah, sounds like a great way to go out.
Yeah, so...
And with brain damage. I mean, he's got a facsimile right over here.
You're right. I'm right there with him.
They say North Korea is not a victim. They were like, I don't know what happened. The guy got the botulism. First day here.
That's right, the botulism. Fuck.
Which is basically food poisoning.
Yeah.
They're like, we were doing the humane thing and sending him home.
He got a bad can of SpaghettiOs is what was alleged.
Right. Yeah. and then he somehow woke up with mangled, or he never woke up with mangled teeth and
Howling
everything else.
and
Howling. Ugh, violently, too. God, how horrible. Why wouldn't they tell the parents? Oh, by the way, you're going to hear some weird shit in a second. That whole medically induced coma is not the whole story. I think they would warn them, you know? Megyn Kelly.
Not doing well, huh?
Well, the critics are panning the new show, which, you know, for what it's worth.
How much is that is fair criticism versus she came from Fox News and is a, quote, conservative, so we will destroy her?
There's both. I haven't
because
watched...
I think that's unfair in terms of being a conservative, we must destroy her.
Yeah.
She really wasn't, man. She was just a pretty face who kind of facilitated the news at 10 o'clock or whatever it was on Fox. She was not a dyed-in-the-wool Sean Hannity type, Bill O'Reilly type. She really wasn't. She wasn't like a carrying the flag conservative.
Well, that didn't stop John Oliver, I guess. You know, the total, like, alt-left guy on HBO does the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver every Sunday night.
I'd love for somebody to point to segments of hers on Fox and say, now that is staunch conservatism right there. Like, that she's a card-carrying member.
Yeah.
Because I don't think so. I watched enough of that. Not, like, every night, but I've seen her enough.
Yeah. Well, what he did was just like a 2-minute segment on his show where he just pulled clips of her on Fox News and ran like a loop.
I want to see this.
Well,
because honestly,
go ahead. Pull up John Oliver, Megyn Kelly. And, dude, it's funny because I was like, oh, John Oliver, I watch it. I don't agree with almost anything he says, but it's well-researched. You know, he's one of those that really dives into something.
So is he reaching here?
Dude, it's when you just pull clips of someone going, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and you're trying to paint them as negative, you know, God, do you think we're not praying enough? Just like that. You're just taking little snippets of something totally out of context, and you're trying to paint, well, this is who she really is. It's like, boy, oh boy, this is really just a hit piece. That's all it is.
It doesn't surprise me because, again, I've seen enough of her.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay,
that's it. And you tell me, maybe you'll see this as more fair, but I never watched her show.
Megyn Kelly's new morning show.
In a world and a country that is incredibly divided right now, my hope is that this show can be a unifying force.
And now a look at the unifying force that is
See where this is going?
Kelly.
Sure.
Gay rights are more and more protected and recognized in this country. Christian beliefs and Christian rights, not so much.
This is about the attempted war on the religious right, not the war on women.
And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white.
Jesus was a white man, too.
The decision to drop the now infamous voter intimidation case against members of the New Black Panther Party. New Black Panther Party. The New Black Panther case. New Black Panther Party. The New Black Panther Party out there saying we got to go kill some cracker babies. Kill us some cracker babies. Do you hate white people? Is President Obama playing the
See what I'm saying?
race card?
Yeah.
Now
Like,
people
this is
have made
just-
this into a race thing. Do Black Lives Matter or do
I mean, this is
all
what the
lives
news
matter?
is.
You wanna
Like,
talk
this
about
is the
that?
news.
She's making statements that are in the context of the news story.
Yes.
In which she's reporting.
Do you hate white people? I mean, the guy could have been on camera, for all you know, going, God damn it, I hate white people. And then she naturally goes, do you hate white people?
Do you really hate white people?
So, yeah, that's what...
Just know that all white people are fucking devils.
So, anyway, the new show, it's being panned for the same reasons we talked about yesterday. Most of what I saw was not like, oh, fuck this, you know, right-wing nut job or anything like that. They're saying that it's just like a Bride of Frankenstein type show, like mix of shit. And so they tore into Kelly a lot of these. She appeared to flounder as she tried to paint herself as warm and fluffy mid-morning TV show hostess. Times Daniel Diodario said the host had totally failed to connect with her audience. The Washington Post, one of their writers, said, watching a network try to assemble its own Bride of Frankenstein using parts of Ellen's show, Kelly Ripa, and whatever else it can find. He said he also criticized her self-congratulatory tone. Most of the episode devolved into an intentionally meta hall of mirrors, inviting the audience to admire Kelly as much as Kelly admires Kelly. The hour crawled by. One compared it to a home goods catalog brought to life. So the other interesting thing here is all of a sudden she's doing this thing like, you know what, I'm kind of done with politics, and it's about hope, and we want to lift people up, bring people together and make them feel good, like that whole spin. And so one guy tweeted like, hey, watching Megyn Kelly today, and the question on my mind is, if NBC wanted this kind of show, why not do it with Tamron Hall? Like, why did you went and got the most sought after political speaker out there as a host, and brought her to your station to completely redo stuff and then be this like,
yeah, that's a decent point.
You know, this
but
Kelly
again,
Ripa
as,
thing, like,
as a, I guess I'll say I watched her frequently enough to know what she was all about. She really isn't this like political correspondent, and I know why you would say that, because she was on a political channel working a political show, but really I could see why execs would look at her and go, no, we could translate her really into anything. You know, she has a personality that could facilitate any type of show.
Well, unfortunately, what John Oliver just did, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you're going to get. Fox News, you are this. You know, you can be taken totally out of context and just run with, and that'll just cement it. You know, people that are going to hate her have probably never watched her.
Right.
You know, they just go, oh, she was from Fox News' primetime lineup. Oh, fuck her.
Right.
She's evil. She's right-wing. She's crazy.
But she's on NBC now.
I know.
So what do I do? Because
I like
love
NBC
because they're liberal.
Well, do they let people shift? Because those guys like Tucker went from CNN to Fox. Like,
yeah, Tucker's bounced around.
A lot of them have.
Everybody's kind of digging in now, though. You know, the last year, it's like everybody's kind of jumped on their side and dug in.
Yeah.
And like the Jeffrey Lords of the world who are trying to portray the other side on the enemy side channel are getting broomed.
Yeah.
Because people just want to put us in our echo chamber.
Just my guy.
Yeah.
I just want to hear what I already know.
Right.
And reaffirm.
Tell me I'm right again.
I like this one guy. He's like, oh, so this is what it looks like to watch $15 million set on fire in real time.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It could very well be. It's tough. I mean, it's got to be tough starting any new show and under that scrutiny, but with all that money comes the scrutiny. So I guess it's fair to look and go, all right, we're watching you closely now. You're getting paid a lot of money. What do you have for us?
Well, there's like, I get it. I know how that promo machine works. Like when you start getting into network money, and it's like, oh, they've all got formulas for why this works, and they've got data and research. And I think what most people want is honesty, and you know, a lot of people are turned off by that type of show. The oh my God, Ryan Seacrest, you know, like everything's perfect and happy. No, they want real shit, and give them something with substance. When you go in, some guy was like, hey, if you were dying for a show where you could watch Megyn Kelly flip eggs with Matt Lauer, they've got you covered. You know, and it's like, this is just fluffy nonsense.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. And you're paying her $120 million. It's hard to rally for someone making that much money. It's the problem the athletes are running into.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, the rest of us work real jobs and have real concerns about.
Sort of.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like you have a fake job right now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't pay you $100 million, and you still go home to fucking your wife, and dealing with real issues of bills being paid.
Right.
Like Megyn Kelly doesn't ever her kids and great grandkids don't ever have to worry about paying for a bill. So to like try to sell that and push that on people like the everyday girl, hey, look at me, we're just making breakfast together. It's like, no, bitch, that
Once you
doesn't
accept
work like
big
that.
contract, you're out of the everyday girl mode.
Yeah, and now
you better bring it.
Yeah,
you better bring ratings quick and furiously.
Yes. And, you know, I don't know what they're paying for if all of a sudden we shift gears into this new, because I've never heard this before. Like, I'm done with politics. Like, you know, it's about hope.
Yeah, you and I mean, we don't understand that market, but I guess there is that market because Kelly and Michael Strahan had a good show for a while. There are those, quote, stay-at-home moms, I guess, that lap that shit up to an extent. So maybe
are there?
I don't know.
Or is it just
they've gone on for years?
Yeah. Well, something's going to be there, and they're paid a ton. But is it just that they're in every dentist office and doctor's office in America? Is that where they're getting the ratings from?
Whatever. Like, it's still a click. It's still a. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I would never watch it, but apparently some people do because they set up Regis for 40 years or however long he was on.
Yeah.
God, that man looks like death. Have you seen him recently?
No, I haven't seen Regis in a while. You know, well, when those guys retire, they tend to.
I saw him before he retired in Birmingham, walking down the street.
Just a wisp of a man,
just
isn't he?
a tiny wee wisp. He's wearing like Adidas track pants, full-length track pants with like a leather jacket on, and he just looked disheveled.
Yeah.
Just awful, too. Without makeup, that man just looks like death.
Yeah. Well, he's like 100, isn't
He
he?
is. He's very, very old. One of those
wasn't-
guys, like, God bless you, dude. Go sit on an island. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Because he really is old.
Was he wearing anything Notre Dame? Isn't he just like the biggest Notre Dame?
Maybe that's why he was in town. Maybe it was a Notre Dame Michigan game a long time ago or something like that.
Oh, was he staying at the Townsend or something?
He was walking down that street. So
It doesn't say it's from that. It's a 2016 on Google when I first looked him up.
yeah, he looked way worse than that, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's obviously like made up, and like he was probably doing an interview there.
He's got the energy though.
I'm telling you. Who was the Gelman? Gelman
Yeah,
wasn't
Gelman
Gelman
was the producer.
Yeah. So he's ragging on Gelman and whoever else. But I don't know why, and I was kind of asking myself like why am I happy that Megyn Kelly's show is being panned?
Because you're a hater.
I don't feel like a hater, and I don't know why. Is it because she's a woman? Is it because I'm seriously asking myself why am I taking joy
because
in her
when you and I
failing?
talked this through at the beginning, we bandied back and forth about how God, is she a heavy enough hitter to get a contract like that?
Yeah.
We just didn't feel like she was worth it. And so I think to see it play out now, you're kind of vindicated, or you feel like, yeah, it was, my gut reaction was correct.
Thank you for that, because I was honestly like, is it because she's a chick that I don't feel like
She's
that?
a likable enough chick. And in fact, go to Howard Stern, watch her interview on Howard Stern. You'll like her after that interview.
Yeah.
She is likable, but she's just not big enough to get $125 million.
Yeah, I think I so despise those fraudulent shows,
foofy.
those fluffy things where it's like, okay, this is, to me, it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing play to the American people when you're paying Kelly Ripa $8 million. Kelly Ripa is probably a bad example.
But dude, before you pan that whole market,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people out there that don't think like us, that are way
Yeah.
more conservative, that don't want to go into that nook and cranny.
cannibalism
That's,
and
they
dead
don't want to
babies.
hear about a baby being chucked off a bridge. They want to hear just straight up
pop back.
kind of a conservative. Yeah, I know the step back was
Huge.
pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
They just want to hear a pretty conservative fluff piece.
Yeah.
And that's the way they want their news presented. So don't forget about really half of America.
Yeah, fair enough. But in my defense, I'll say, these people get paraded around as celebrities and true thinkers and speakers for, when you see them churned up, it's like, oh, look at the red carpet. Here comes Ryan Seacrest. It's like Ryan Seacrest is as big a bullshit as you can get. Like, dude, he can read a teleprompter. Great. Kelly Ripa, it's not fair to just totally slam her. She does, she can be funny at times, shows bullshit. But I think of this machine of 50 people making these guys up and then writing for them and cutting news stories and pasting it and handing it. And now Michael Strahan is some thinker in America. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. And oh, by the way, we're paying them $12 million and they're going to represent America. It's like, no, fuck these people. And so I think,
Blame or starfucker culture then, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just standing in the gap. Someone else would be there if not them.
You're right. I know it's a tough one to get my head around, though, and maybe that's why I also root for some of the failures that we see. The Megyn Kelly one, though, that's a different level. I guess we'll see how it plays out. It's too early now to judge the whole thing. But, yeah.
Hey, Amazon link, everybody. Please use it. Use all of our affiliate links. As a matter of fact, at DetroitCast.com, you will see links to Amazon and Groupon. Many of you shop on those sites, and we're happy to have partnered with both through their affiliate programs. Find great deals on Amazon and Groupon, so please enter both of those through the site links that we've provided on DetroitCast.com. And hell, dude, it's almost the Yuletide season. Honestly, people are going to start shopping for the Yuletide coming up. Why not do it through our Amazon link?
Please.
It's a great way to support the show.
For sure. Hey, let's take a quick break, Jay, and then got an update on Brad Manning. You remember Bradley?
I do remember Bradley.
Yep. She apparently had some trouble.
Well, he was almost named a Harvard Fellow. Did you hear that? And then there was so much backlash from actual Harvard Fellows.
What is a Harvard Fellow?
It's just some bullshit, oh, you get this name and you get to speak on behalf of the university and present and things like that.
Did you get a scarf or a
pin?
You
probably get a medal of some sort. I'm
cool.
picturing like a Medal of Honor type thing.
Oh, great.
But yeah, he was given that, and people lost their shit. Like, oh, like you forgot he's a traitor?
Yeah.
I mean, set aside the whole gender thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say this if it was a dude, a chick, whatever. That's what people were saying.
Yeah.
These Harvard fellows. Like, this has nothing to do with the gender change. It has
don't
everything
care.
to do with the fact that he's a traitor, or she, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Doesn't
convicted
matter. Yeah.
Traitor.
7 years in prison. We'll get into that story. That's funny. I never thought I'd side with a Harvard fellow. Never. Like, you could ask me any topic, and
Or
I
a
would
fellow
in
in general.
I would, well, yeah, but especially a Harvard one, a Harvard fellow.
It's a group of scholars selected at the
Well,
beginning of their careers by Harvard University for extraordinary scholarly potential, upon whom distinctive academic and intellectual opportunities are bestowed in order to foster their individual growth and intellectual collaboration. Membership in the society is for life.
For life. Put that in the context of Chelsea/Bradley Manning.
Private Manning.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold on, E.
Oh, sorry.
PFC Manning.
Yeah. 7 years in prison. But we're putting him in here for her extraordinary scholarly potential.
Yes. That's what we're
upon
doing.
whom distinctive academic and intellectual opportunities are bestowed in order to foster their individual growth and intellectual collaboration. Well, that does speak to Private Manning, for sure.
I think the Harvard Fellowship saw an opportunity to add some diversity to their roles.
It wouldn't be the worst thing, darling. Chancellor, can I a word, please? Chancellor, are you familiar with the Adam's apple woman? Are you familiar with Chelsea Manning? I think if we fellowed Ms. Manning, we could go a long way. Well, technically, she still has a dong, but it probably won't be for much longer. We'll tell you what happened with her next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi, Michael Kowalski here, fourth generation of the Kowalski Meat Dynasty. But you can just call me the Sausage King of Detroit. And you know what, my friends? It's time. Time to roll out the grill, crack open the Jack's potato salad, sizzle up some sausages, pass out the pierogies, ice those beers, and unfold those chairs. Because grilling season is here, and it's time. Time to eat like a king. I'm Michael Kowalski, and I approve my message.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
We're a volunteer group. We all have other lives.
We all have other lives. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Powered, as always, by DealsInTheD.com. It's Mike and Jay. Jerry.
It's coming, man.
Dude.
Gross.
Flight is booked. Flight is booked for Gerald.
October 28th at the Hamlin Pub.
Yes. We'll tell you which one shortly. There's a few of them, so we'll do a round of Sweet Pie's game too.
Yeah, little Sweet Pie.
Yeah.
I've been calling her the peahen.
The peahen?
Yeah.
Why?
Instead of the peacock, she's a peahen.
Yeah, look at that little peahen. Dude, I don't like it. Like, I'm noticing, like, I like that Sweet Pie, the drop Sweet Pie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here she sounds older.
Yeah, she's
and
growing.
And it's
yeah.
like, dude, what? She's growing.
Yeah, she is.
Like,
you
3
probably
years
haven't
difference.
Seen her in a while.
3 years difference between a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old
Mm-hmm.
is a lot. They do a lot of growing in those years. I don't know if you knew that.
Again with the yada yada.
Like, look at that little wee hen poops.
Eric, relax.
Yeah, I
Relax.
never call her by her actual name. I always just yell, peahen! And she'll be like, what? She'll answer to anything.
What else?
Little tiny girl! That's a big one, too. Tiny girl? You tiny girl?
I've been in the house and heard this, by the way. Brown nut. Nut brown?
Nut brown.
Nut brown. Fuck, I'm never going to get that right. You know that.
Nut brown. You're just a little nut brown.
Sweet pie.
She answers to anything.
Yeah, she's the only little girl in the house. She can, like, you're never going to call Russell, peahen. She knows it's her. Hey, do you ever watch, Jay, those well, you don't have cable, so you probably don't, but you ever see those ESPN 30 for 30s?
I've seen one or two, but you're right. With the absence of cable, that becomes a problem.
Yeah,
they put those on Netflix though. Usually after a little bit, yeah. If you look for 30, I don't know when they decide to, when they place them on there after they've been aired, but they are on there.
Okay, I'll check that out. You know what I did check out on Netflix last weekend was Narcos. Have you guys checked that out?
You know what? I've heard amazing things about that. I haven't started watching it though.
Don't believe the hype.
Really?
I've watched 2 or 3 episodes, and again, this went to my. If it's not entertaining me, and it's meant to entertain
right now,
I'm not just gonna force my way through this.
Yeah.
And so I stopped. And I'm sure people are writing, dude, give it time. You get to the 6th episode, it's awesome. I don't know, man.
Dude, okay. Now that you mention it, Narcos, that was premiered when McCard was here.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple days when we were doing the show late, and McCard would be like, dude, do you mind if I just come over now instead of driving home and then coming back in 3 hours? And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And so he'd come over, and then he'd just go up into that wood room up there and
watch Narcos.
And he would watch whatever. And he started watching Narcos and was like, dude, it's the greatest show ever. Oh, my God, you're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. And so I sat down and watched 3/4 of an episode and went, oh God.
I mean, it's okay.
It didn't grab me, and I've never gone back to it because of that. But I've heard recently, like, it might be the greatest show that's ever aired on television.
Come on.
They say that with The Sopranos. They said it with Breaking Bad, which is true.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is amazing. That show was really good. Those 30 for 30s are really good, too. The Bad Boys one was awesome. I'm sure you saw that.
I saw that one. I think I saw a Tanya Harding one. I might have seen a USFL one that had a lot of Donald Trump in it.
Yes. Yep. I watched one the other day. I was telling Isis about it, called What Carter Lost. And Carter is a high school down in the Dallas area that's part of the whole Friday Night Lights thing. And what is it, like Perennia is one of them with the P on the helmet. Friday Night Lights, the movie or the TV show. That school. Mm-hmm. Carter was portrayed in the movie as this black inner city bullshit from Dallas that was thugs and wearing bandanas and shit, cheap shot, late hits, that kind of thing. And so they were talking about this team and what they were really like. And so what you had basically was this high school in Dallas that black people start to move into the neighborhood, and of course the white people leave, right? And so in a matter of a decade or so, it becomes an all black school.
If you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
And so they have this football program that kind of sucks, and they get new coaches, and these families are not like inner city like traditional inner city broken homes. These are like doctors and lawyers, stable African-American middle-class families moving into nice neighborhoods and this school. And education is everything to these parents. They do not want these kids of theirs to struggle the way they did and not have the opportunities that so many inner-city school youth have. They want more for their kids. And so when their grades start dropping, the parents are right there at the school demanding more and blah, blah, blah. And so this football team emerges out of this. And these guys, this is Friday Night Lights. This is the NFL to Texas. And so these kids come up and are fucking amazing. You'd know a lot of the names. I'm trying to remember some of the names right now. But these kids are...
With some of the players who have moved on to college and pros?
And pros, yeah, that you'd know. And so anyway, they start killing people. I mean, they're just slaughtering teams. And they get to the postseason is about to start, and there's an anonymous tip phone call that comes in. It says, like,
yeah, I was wondering if my daughter could get her grade changed like that black kid did on the football team.
And on that anonymous tip, all of a sudden these guys with 10-gallon cowboy hats come sauntering into this black school and demanding to look through records. And so the day before the playoffs start, they announce one of the kids' grades, they said was a 72. We've checked it. It was actually a 68. He needs a 70 to be eligible. You're out of the playoffs. The school's done.
Oh, shit.
And the town loses their fucking mind, dude. They go to the courts and get a temporary stay. Dude, they say, okay, fine, we'll give you a stay as we research this more. They let the kids play. The kids are fucking worked up, and they end up winning the game. Second playoff game. You're out of the playoffs. Another thing. I think town goes ape shit again. Another injunction. They okay, you can play. So they let them play. They kick this team's ass. And now they go on to the next one. And this is going back and forth in the courts the whole time. And these parents are losing their shit. What happened was the new principal, I'm probably being too wordy about this. The new principal moves in and he brought a new education system with him. It was like, I want great grades working like this. I want to be more on top of this and help these kids get better faster because some of them are coming from behind and we want to give them an opportunity. And so this new grading system had this kid at a 72. One math teacher was like, there's my grading system or none. And so his grading system had him at a 68, blah, blah, blah. That's what the discrepancy is.
Now
over.
I got
you.
you.
And so in the end, these kids end up winning the states. They go on and they kick ass and they win the first state title for this school ever. First one for a Dallas school in a long time or something like 50 years.
Bag up.
The whole town loves these kids. These kids are rock stars. They're in their cars. They get pulled over. They don't get in trouble. They do whatever they want. They get free food, free pussy, free. Here's how good this team was. 21 kids on this team got D1 scholarships.
Wow.
8 of them made the NFL.
Wow.
So if you want to know how good this fucking team was, so what do they do in the offseason? They get black cop in town, pulls 2 of these kids over in their Camaro, right? And he's like, hey, congratulations, man. You guys won the state title, blah, blah, blah. I just want to tell you, there's a lot of controversy about the grades and the this and the that. You guys be careful. You guys have so much potential. You guys are going on to great things. Don't fuck this up, okay? Just keep your heads on straight and know that there are wolves out there that want to take you down, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, officer. So they leave. They're showing these kids, like, doing their signing day. Mm-hmm. One kid jumps in his aunt's hot tub, signing his letter to Tennessee from a hot tub and shit.
Sweet.
So in the offseason, these kids are, like, playing dice in the hallway for money, right? The Jordans are the big shit. I need my chain. So these kids are like, I got my chain on. I got my Jordans on. I got some flash cash. And so a couple of these guys decide, why don't we rob that restaurant over there? And then we could buy some Jordans and shit. So in their in their own car, they go up and they rob this store and they get away and they leave and it's like, we got $2,000 and shit. And so their buddies start seeing them like showing up with new Jordans. Man, how'd you get that? Like, easy as shit. Just rob that store over there. 9 of these assholes that are on their way to D1 scholarships decide to start robbing the fucking town blind. 9 of them. They start robbing.
Can I get you guys' names?
They start robbing banks, restaurants, stores. They hit the last one they hit was a bank, which had a tag in the money, and they're like, these dumb motherfuckers took their own car, didn't cover their faces.
What you doing, Ted?
then, so within a matter of a month, these guys destroy everything. They.
Oh, Lord, Jesus! Lord! Oh,
no, Dave, please. These kids destroy everything in their lives. They all lose their scholarships. They're all facing serious prison time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
They not only robbed some of these places, some of them they took guns with them, and now they've committed armed robbery, which is, adds time. So, as the court case plays out, they strip them of their title. So they lose their title.
It just sounds too exaggerated to the common person out there.
They said the town would have fought and paid to keep that court case going and probably would have won, but the support in the town for these kids was fucking
waned.
gone. No one was like, nah, we ain't spending $30,000 on the court case going forward. Fuck that. Let them take the title. And so it was absolutely heartbreaking to see these parents. Like, they'd have this mom and this dad. They'd have 20 seconds of dead air, and this guy's just crying. He's like, and this mom is crying, black woman, and she's just like, it just played into every stereotype of what a black kid is, and it they couldn't answer. They're like, the same question, like, what happened? And they're like, we don't know. We
didn't mean to.
We gave these kids everything. That their education, they had stable homes, good families. They were, and it just breaks your heart seeing these guys like fought so hard for these kids, and it was an amazing story, just an amazing story. So what do we got? Jesse Armstead, remember went to Florida. He was a linebacker,
that
or
rings a bell.
DN for the
Rings a
Giants,
bell.
I think. He was a beast. He's the big.
Those
name.
are the three that made it to the NFL. It wasn't.
3 Carter players from that team: Lashai Maston, Jesse Armstead, and Clifton Abraham played in the NFL.
They actually said there were more, definitely than 3, but whatever. And you probably wouldn't know the names of the other kids because they went to prison for 20 years each. Oh, dude, it's a great story, though. I found myself riveted by it, and they were like, and then after that, were portrayed in the movie as the thugs with the bandanas and the, cheap shots, and like, we never cheap shotted no one. We whooped your ass fair and square. We would never do. It's just so funny, man.
Hey, Zot Ford needs your trade in. The hottest sales staff in Oakland County has sold so many pre-owned vehicles, they must restock the lot. If you own an incredibly nice vehicle and want more cash than you think it's even worth, take it to Zot Ford and Holly now. Also, check out a new 17 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive leasing for as low as $188 a month. Only from Zot Ford and dealsinthed.com.
Brad/Chelsea Manning.
I'm familiar with him.
Came out Monday. Well, not came out, that's the wrong word, but announced on Twitter that she was denied entry into Canada.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird, because doesn't Canada just, like, open arms welcome anybody that wants to
I
come?
think you can just walk over there, right, Isis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the border even still operating right now, or is that just like... Canada? I think Justin Trudeau just shut down the borders and just said, yeah, anyone that wants to come in, bring us your poor, you're tired.
Right, yeah.
Yearning for something, I think.
Whatever your Statute of Liberty says, that.
The poem that was written on there that has nothing to do. In fact, do you mind if we borrow that for a while? Why don't we just
make
put
it
that...
our immigration policy?
Yes. Do you guys mind if we take the Statue of Liberty and just like drop in the Detroit River really quick so people coming across can see that and know what our immigration policy is now? Well, apparently it's not quite that simple. So she posts this thing. She tried to go into Quebec on Friday.
Yeah.
And she was not admitted because she was convicted of offenses deemed equivalent to treason in Canada.
Well,
it wasn't actually equivalent to treason. It was treason in America. We used to think that too. She tried to cross at the official border, and they went, yeah, no, you can't do that. She's convicted of leaking a trove of classified documents. She was the one that dumped them to, was it WikiLeaks?
I think she did, yeah. I think she went WikiLeaks.
Yeah, I think so too. Manning said she would challenge the decision. Canadian Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale, and you don't fuck with Ralph Goodale. I mean,
not typically.
I mean, everything we know about Ralph Goodale, he's a man of his word, and so he suggested Monday that he would think very hard before overruling a border officer's decision. And this is the Ralph Goodale I know,
So the commutation happened through Obama. Obama looked at him, her, and said, hey, this will be good for LGBTQ or SLMNOP rights if I let this dude out. So he commutes him.
Yeah.
But the sentence isn't expunged, so it's still on
It's still a felony
record.
Yes. Is it on Brad's record or is it on Chelsea's record? Do you have separate records for that?
Do not.
So does it say like Bradley / Chelsea?
It must. I don't know
how that
the whole
works.
Cutting off your dick thing works.
I don't either. Because that'd be kind of a cool game if it was like, oh no, I'm not that dude anymore. No, I'm Star Johnson now. So Star Johnson is clean slate. So anyway,
it can't be that easy.
Ralph Goodale says no such request has been made to me with respect to that matter. And when a Canadian Border Services officer has exercised appropriately within their jurisdiction the judgment that they are called upon to make, I don't interfere in that process in any kind of a light or cavalier manner. That's the Ralph Goodale we know, right?
That's typical Ralph Goodale.
People whose criminal records make them ineligible to enter Canada aren't necessarily out of luck. They can apply for a temporary residency permit. I don't know if she, whatever, is trying to move there or what, but
yeah, what's
sorry.
his deal? Just wanted to go over Windsor titty bars or what?
Well, it's Quebec. I mean, Quebec's
that's right,
gorgeous
Quebec.
this time of year.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
Blame him or whatever. But the other one, Reality Winner. Remember Reality Winner?
Yes.
I remember the name, of
Right,
course.
that's the only reason I remember it.
That's an actual name. Another one of these that worked for the military and decided that, oh my God, I know what's best
She
for the
was
country.
the one. What did she sent that tweet out about Trump, or she wasn't going to protect him, right, or something, or
She sent a lot of tweets about
Okay.
Trump, but she's the one that was like, oh, I think I found evidence of Russia trying to interfere in the election, and so she sent something to a media outlet, and they went, okay, that's treason, or not treason
Now I
technically,
gotcha.
but so she's been in jail this whole time because they're like, yeah, we think she might be a flight risk. And so Reality Winner's just been sitting in jail waiting for her trial to start in Georgia. And she was charged with willful retention and transmission of national defense information.
Yeah, she was a contractor. I remember that.
Her mom, Billie Jean Winner Davis. Wow. Billie Jean Winner - Davis. Nice. And her both submitted letters to the court asking for her release. Here's the problem, Jake. She's a kosher vegan, and the prison food stinks. And it's making it really hard for a kosher vegan to do her thing.
They're not serving kosher maggots?
Are there kosher maggots?
Should be.
Are there vegan maggots? I think by definition you can't have a vegan maggot.
Kosher vegan?
It's like, I'm a vegetarian. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a vegan. I'm better than you.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
well.
Well, guess what, fuckface? I'm a kosher vegan.
This means she's Jewish or what?
No, is Reality Winner
I wouldn't typically think. Winterstein?
I was just going to say Reality Winterthal.
Wintervitz?
Is Reality Winner a traditional Jewish name? Do you know in your community?
you know what? I'm not as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think the Hebrew people typically step to the forefront of naming their kids weird shit like that either. I think they're pretty reasonable in that regard.
Yeah.
So I don't think they go the whole Reality Winner type, let's
Yeah.
make a joke with our kid's name type thing.
Dude.
they go the Herschels. They go the Ross, Herschel Rothstein.
The Stanleys.
Yeah.
More traditional. You're right. Yeah, Reality Winner. Like, it seems like with Winner as a last name, the deck is stacked against you. Because it can be like, what a winner. Like that thing. I don't think kids are going to be like, cool. And so to throw Reality on top of that is just cruel.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So anyway, she's also into yoga and stuff. And so that's hard to do there. And if she's let out, she will continue to teach yoga and spin classes. And then she can properly eat vegan kosher meals and be better because her tummy's upset now while she's sitting in jail. So I'll give you a quick update. And I don't care. I sorry, Reality. I think it is wholly dangerous in this country to have PFCs making executive decisions on what or
Not even
what
a PFC.
is not.
She's a contractor.
Well, she is, but the other dick face was. Making an executive decision on what the U.S. military is or is not doing, that you need to show the world how cruel we are. Wasn't that Manning's thing?
Well, that's the whole policy behind WikiLeaks. Julian Assange wants the veil pulled back on government.
Yeah.
And he believes that just, everything and anything ought to be out there for the people to see.
Right. Well, there's something called context that matters, and it's impossible to give true context when you just have a 30-second clip of something that looks bad. And I love the idea
It's also dangerous to people.
Totally is. I mean, weren't there unmasked people that like were in serious life jeopardy? They said with the Snowden stuff. I thought there were people that
I
like
don't know. That was the report.
Whether it's true or not. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea of slamming the door hard on these people to prevent others from thinking this is okay to do. I just don't think it's smart to have a bunch of low-rent people running around
deciding,
yeah, what isn't important to, it's not your call, sir.
And I guarantee Reality Winner was not kosher before she got into prison. I'm sure she's bringing that out as some religious item.
Oh, you
and
think?
Push it that route.
Oh,
she was simply a vegan at best.
Does vegan give you enough martyrdom in that? Is there enough in the vegan community to rally around her? Like, dude.
And I think
Brad was smart to grab the gay community and tie into the whole Q community. Is it the T or the Q?
I don't know.
Whatever. To lump those all together and get that rallying behind you, and then Obama, dude,
he couldn't
home
resist.
Home run.
The carrot out in front of Obama. Hey, buying or selling a home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't read a Steinert read without...
Douglas!
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Dude, don't point the finger at me.
Way to go, Easus.
Sorry.
Throw that in front of me to read like that. Everybody, you ready? Easus, you ready?
Sure.
And then we're gonna hide our ass friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug. You are a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit.
I don't sing it.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call him at 248-765-1781. Ask for fellow Detroit Cast listener Douglas Steinert.
Ready for a little Sweet Pies Would You Rather, Jay?
Sure.
Go ahead, E.
Oh, I thought.
Go ahead and hit the. Or Jay, you've got the intro.
I was going to say,
Jay. Sorry.
We have a cold front that's slow moving.
Your quarterback? Forget about it.
You're my sweetie pie.
Well, she's my sweetie pie and I love her so. Well, she's my sweetie pie and I love her so. Well, she's the sweetest in the world and she's my steady girl 'cause she's my sweetie pie.
Hello, Detroit Cast listeners. It's me, Sweet Pie, with another edition of Sweet Pie's Would You Rather. And Big E, there's no taking a knee on this one. Hey, Eric, try not to suck at this.
Sweetie pie. Well, she's my sweetie pie.
Oh, peahen. Look at that little peahen. Oops. I haven't seen her in a while, by the way, now that you mention it.
She's been busy.
Has she?
Lots going
Working
on.
hard?
Yeah. So what do we have? Sweet pie?
Go ahead, E.
Would you rather do homework all day or clean the house all day?
Would we rather do homework all day or clean the house all day?
Is that what she asked?
Well, boy.
Fuck, I hate both of those things.
I know. Would you rather do homework? The thing about homework is it would take your mind and, like, time would go quicker, I would think, because you're concentrating on something.
Yeah.
If you're just doing housework all day, you got nothing. Are you allowed to listen to shit while you do the housework?
Sure. Yeah. There's no rules against that. Crank the stereo.
Boy, depends on whether you just want to turn your brain off and do some labor.
All day, too. All day is the thing where it's like, dude, what if I finish cleaning the house in 2 hours?
You can't. You clean someone else's house then.
Shit, I just have to be cleaning
Yes.
houses.
It includes toilets, Mike. You're not good with toilets.
God, what if I just stick to, like, vacuuming?
You have to clean the house.
But I am. I'm cleaning the house all day by vacuuming room after room after room.
I suppose it includes math homework, doesn't it?
Well, that's the next thing I was going to ask you. Like, what kind of homework? Can we be like...
It's all subjects. Science, math, reading,
English?
writing, arithmetic.
Ooh.
The 3 R's.
The 3 R's. 2 of which don't start with R's.
I'm going to turn my brain off and clean all day. That's what I'm going to do, especially since I'm allowed to listen to shit.
Well,
throw in the earbuds, clean.
Yeah, here's the thing, dude. You're still going to have to do your homework when you get done cleaning. You know what I mean? It's not like your
But if you
homework's
do your homework, are you still going to have to clean?
Nah, it's the kids got that. The rest of the family's got that. I got homework. Dude, this is a terrible question. I have no idea what. I guess
it's awful, isn't it?
It's nice to have a clean house, though.
Ah,
you know what I mean.
But it's also nice to get those good grades. You're out in front of everything.
But if I get good grades, then people expect me to go to college, maybe even get a master's.
That's right.
Fuck, it never ends.
Expectations go through the roof.
Through the roof. No, it's
Clean.
clean the house. I'm failing school on purpose. Jesus?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a hard choice to me either. I hate doing homework. I actually don't even hate clean. I know people wouldn't think that. I don't hate cleaning. I just don't like to spend the time doing it. If you had to sit there and no, if
What
you
is
had
some
to
satisfaction after a nice, you know what I mean? You can step back. It's just like mowing the lawn, right? Forest.
Exactly. Honestly, it's just because I lately just I'd rather sit. I'm lazy and I'd rather watch Netflix than clean my room or something. But if for some reason someone's saying like, look at these are the two things you're doing all day. You're either sitting at this desk studying or you're cleaning the house.
I'll bet
cleaning.
homework in E's house was not a happy time.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
It was probably a struggle. Biggie, you will sit down and you will do your homework. You were probably accompanied by a parent many times.
Well, I think I've said this before, but I can tell the story again. But
first or second, 8th grade.
Well, it was past both those, but there was a time my senior year where my dad had finally got to the point where he said, "Okay, rest of the year, I'm either sitting down with you every day and helping you do your math homework for this math class that I was doing bad in, or no TV the rest of the year."
Hold on, your senior year in high school, you were doing homework? Nobody does shit.
Maybe it was
junior
junior. Maybe it was junior year. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that was junior year. I always thought it was senior.
We
for
don't
some
do
reason.
shit our senior year?
Dude, senior year, you didn't do dick.
Oh. Well, I didn't do dick freshman, sophomore, or junior year
Yeah,
either.
but even people who do dick don't do dick.
I really felt like I remember this being my senior year, but it might have been my junior year. I don't know.
You were probably hanging on to it by a thread, like whether you were going to graduate or not.
I was
so
close.
It might have been your senior year.
I was close. You know,
I had to take a summer school class. I had to take a summer school government class because I said motherfucker to a...
Did you even walk with the rest of the class?
Yeah, I
in terms
did.
of graduation?
It was close, though, dude. Yeah, I did get to walk. Not that I cared. I wouldn't have even given a shit, but I did get to walk. But, yeah, I'd take, that's where that government class that Troy and I had to take after we graduated.
What up, T-Roy?
Yeah, and T and I are sitting there, and the teacher asks, who's on the $5 bill? And to the black kid sitting there, and he's like, $5 bill.
Shit, I got 2 2s and 1.
And he goes, the $5 bill? She goes, no, I said the $50 bill. He goes, oh, the 50 Grant.
I had no idea if he doesn't go that low.
No, it was just the way. Oh, the 50 Grant. And I forever know that Grant is on the $50 bill because of that, dude. See, I learned. That's called learning. I learned that in summer school, that Grant is on the $50 bill.
I hadn't thought about this in a while, but you know what? Freshman into junior year, I had to take a summer school science class because I didn't pass my science class, I guess, freshman year. And I hadn't thought about that in a long time, and it was terrible.
Because I've been in summer school.
I remember that it went from like mid-June. I got like a week after school, and it went to like until like middle of July, man. And I was there, and I remember having to wake up early.
Just dying, huh?
It was so brutal. I remember thinking back, and we got July 4th. I think July 4th was like the midweek that year. So we did get that day off, but like I didn't get the day before or after off.
You got to remember, Jay, like for me, because I know what you're thinking, like, dude, summer after you high school graduate, like, what, that would suck. And it's like, look, T-Roy and I were going to be hanging out anyways. Probably, shooting hoops in the front yard.
So why not go to a class?
Waiting for you guys to get done with work or whatever you guys are doing so we could play volleyball all day and then start drinking, right? That was the normal.
Pretty much.
And so for like a month and a half or whatever, it was like Troy and I, like, we would drive ourselves to this place, smoke weed the whole way there, and then go hang out with these other cool degenerates. I think we found a new weed dealer out of there. I mean, it was great. It was great. We may have even found a guy that could buy more beer for us.
A lot of good came of it.
Oh, huge good came from it. Huge. And then, they know you're a retard. Anybody that's there is basically a degenerate or a retard.
Expectations are low.
They are tremendously low. Like, you have class for an hour, of which like 30 minutes in the middle is a break where you can go smoke weed. Some people would just leave and never come back. And it was just like, well, I guess Al's not coming back today anyway. Who's on a $5 bill?
Shit.
Like, they had no expectation. You could literally like throw shit at the teacher and just be like, you suck.
So
great.
Your studying days are over, and you would clean the house.
But I just was gonna say though, like, he gave me the choice of him helping me with my math every day, or me watching no TV the rest of the year, and I chose no TV. And then it was funny because I remember now thinking back to it too. So,
That must have been very hard for you.
Oh, I love TV. So I remember that for a few months what happened is like I would like if they were gone, if my parents would go to, my dad would be at work maybe, until some time
or sneak. You cheated?
Oh,
would they come home and feel the TV?
Oh, no, I can't believe that they never did, but they didn't because I remember what I would do sometimes is I would open the garage door and I would just leave the front door like open a little bit so I could hear if the car was parking in the garage. Then I would just quick turn it off and run up to my room.
My dad burned me on one of those where it was like, "Nah, Dad, I got home hours ago," and he just went out to the car and just right on the hood and went, "Yeah, I thought so." It was like burning hot because I just pulled in. It's like, fuck, I'll never get him. Are we doing another sweet pie or should we get to email?
On to email.
Okay.
Well, she's my sweetie pie and I love her so. She's the sweetest in the world and she's my steady girl because she's my sweetie pie.
Thanks for playing Sweet Pies Would You Rather on the Detroit Cast. See you next time and have a good day. Try not to suck like Eric.
Go ahead, what do you got?
Before I get to email proper, I would like to engage in the reading of posts. Les Andelys.
Fuck me.
What?
I forgot. I was going to actually buy postcards. I totally was, and I forgot.
Is that how you say it? Les Andelys? Les Andelys? I don't know. Bonjour!
Bonjour! Les Andy Lies.
Yeah, it's
Andy Lies.
It's French. It's in northern France. That's all I know. It's near Normandy. This week I'm in Les Andelys for work. It's about 2 hours from Omaha Beach. The castle in the front is from the 12th century. Look at these beautiful places people go that I don't.
I know.
Yeah. Fuck them, dude.
Honestly, man, I need
Seriously,
to
I
travel
hate
the
people.
world more.
Yeah,
isn't that beautiful?
We should do that. Why haven't we traveled? Why haven't we all
I don't
traveled
know.
the world? We should do that. That sounds like way more fun than what we're doing now. No, you cannot see this yet.
Okay.
What am I looking at?
It's from Bill. It's beautiful. Hey, Nate emails in. Anders, Adam, and Blake. We're going to have to look that one up. Do you guys know it? Anders, Adam, and Blake. I'd like to start off by saying that I'm a fan of Wolfie's drawings and military stories, and that I consider him one of the best recurring emailers. With that being said, what the hell, man? In the email segment of number 905, Wolfie regaled us with his tale about befriending and then coming inside a beautiful Amish girl on Rumspringa.
I remember it.
The only problem is that Amish girls that go on Rumspringa are between the ages of 14 and 16.
Ooh. Oh, that's even hotter. Nice job, Wolfie. Nice job.
Maybe it was their second Rumspringa.
Look up Rumspringa. I want actual factual details on Rumspringa because if he fucked a 14-year-old, I have so much more respect for him.
We literally had a confessed statutory rape on the show.
Wow.
I mean, Jesus Christ, she's wearing a blue bikini now. I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is in North Carolina, but I might stop telling that story if I were him, Nate. Good call, Nate. I had no idea Rumspringa involves such young chicks.
Well, honestly, think about it, dude. Do you think Wolfie would have carded her? He would have just seen an Amish chick. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm out, deciding if I want to be, if I want this life or that life.
Looks like there might be two
Rumspringa, also spelled Rumspringa, or Rumspringa, is a term for a rite of passage during adolescence translated in English as jumping/hopping around.
Whoa.
Used in some Amish and Mennonite communities. The Amish, a subsect of blah, 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 intentionally segregate themselves. Okay. For
right
Amish
here.
youth, the Rumspringa normally begins around the age of 14 to 16 and ends when a youth chooses baptism within the Amish church. So there is some wiggle room.
But
there.
there's another one below
bit,
that. No, if you look, it says something about being 21 too. Like there's like a second version of it or something.
Wait, you don't get a second Rumspringa.
Sounds like you might.
No, dude.
No, if you look, like what is this? Why does it continue on to say something about? Did I read that wrong? Oh, never mind. Maybe I read that wrong. I thought when I saw this, it said that it said 16 to 21. I was fast reading.
There's a little bit of gray area there, but Wolfie, man.
What is the gray area you're seeing? There's two gray areas there.
That
I see.
maybe
Keep it there, E.
That it technically goes until you get
It
baptized.
begins around the age of 14 to 16 and ends when a youth chooses baptism.
So
It
maybe
could be 18, 19.
When she chooses it. Can you go on Rumspringa for 20 years?
Yeah,
It
she
sounds
could have
like
been, she could have been 38. An extended Rumspringa.
I still want to hear
She's
back
having a
from
hell of a
Wolfie.
lot of fun.
She just turned into one of us.
Wolfie wasn't her first.
See,
Yeah,
this
she's
is
just
what
a normal chick now.
Nah, yeah.
This is what I was talking about when I said there was a second version. It says for these people, Rumspringa begins between 16 and 21. Doesn't it say that?
The Wenger Mennonites, E. The
Okay.
Wenger Mennonites
E,
are a
sorry.
totally different sect. God damn it, E.
How
Don't
do you know he didn't
anything
mean a
about the
Wenger
Wenger
Mennonites
He
thing?
clearly stated Amish.
He
Okay,
did. He
sorry.
said Amish, not Wenger Mennonites, E. Jesus,
Sorry.
don't you know anything?
Ruby, the girl so beautiful it hurt to look at her.
Sorry.
Yes.
And he just had his way with it.
Huge bush, too.
Oh, I guarantee it was
You know
a
what I mean?
huge bush. They
Huge.
don't. What do they shave their bush?
Yeah. No, not a chance. I mean, maybe she was taught on Rumspringa.
Jim writes
Doubt
in.
it.
Podfathers, just to add one more thing to the dishwasher loading debate. I'm currently in the ER with a family member. Oh no, Jim, I hope everything's okay. And the little kid next door fell into the dishwasher, leaving multiple lives. He fell into the dishwasher, leaving multiple knives sticking into him. Put the pointy end of the knife or something sharp down.
Mm-hmm.
This should be your next PSA. Good day. What did we have as our next PSA? Dude, we identified one while we were sitting on the phone the other day with someone.
Yeah.
Is it the voicemail?
That
It's
was
the voicemail,
we've
right?
had 2 off air that we've come up with and said we should do a PSA about that.
So often you get these stupid voice. It doesn't need to do anything other than identify you and
That's
then
it.
beep.
That's it. Mike Walters. Beep. Hi.
We get it.
You've reached is unnecessary.
This whole if you need further information, dial 7 or no.
And by
I
the
need
way,
the beep.
Who gets to decide if that cunt is going to wrap up my message?
I know.
Because some
gotta-
people have it and some people don't.
It's got to be a box you can check somewhere.
And who is the asshole that needs like more? To click here for more.
Who needs
more
direction?
options? I don't even know what those options are. Would you like to send with priority? Like what is it?
I don't know.
It's pointless. All you need on your message, you need to change yours.
You know what? Honestly, I just looked at
As
that
the
mess-
crow flies. See, that's why your message sucks.
I don't even remember when I did my message. It's probably 4 years ago.
Well, you fell in line with all the other cuckolds. Just,
Hi, my name's Eric Feeney. Please leave a message at the tone.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
get
I
back
cannot
to you.
I cannot take your phone call right now. It's all that bullshit.
As soon as it's convenient, I'll call you back. Make sure you leave your name and number.
like we all know.
I don't even remember.
All you
making
want
that
is
message.
confirmation that yes, I did indeed dial
Yeah.
the right number, because that does happen where you get like some computer voice. And you're like, "Fuck, hey Bob, I think this is your number, dude. If it is, please call me back."
Yeah, you certainly don't want to leave sensitive information on,
Right.
on the please leave message beep one because you just don't know. Maybe Bob changed his number. You don't know.
Connor writes in with the obligatory bone job email when E is out of the office. Hi, Jay and Mike. I must say, the past 2 episodes have been among the finest episodes of the Detroit Cast I have ever heard.
Wow.
With the exception of 10 minutes or so after the break on Tuesday, which was unlistenable, the shows have been great. Whatever you're doing different, just keep it up. Don't change a thing. With love, Bone Job.
He must have a reminder or something that just like sends him a text whenever E's gone. I mean, obviously he doesn't listen anymore, but
To send us that obligatory.
Yeah.
I understand.
Doesn't show up at events or anything.
Brian writes in, what the fuck? Candy bracelets and turtles? Jeez. Hopefully he didn't spill cocoa on his dress. What the fuck is the world coming to? I don't get it. It's ridiculous
Fuck you.
and
Fuck
almost
you.
comical.
Oh, boy.
You know what's so funny, man? Is like so many people went through the fucking hippie. I wonder if he was in the '60s. No, you know, did he care about that? People did this. It's
Maybe
not the
when he was
first,
17 or 18.
It's not the first. Hippies were older, man. Are you kidding me? You think Jerry isn't a hippie, by the way?
A hippie's a lifestyle, man.
Exactly.
It's not something you start at 38.
You know, it must suck to live such a terrible life, by the way. If more people gave cool things like this a chance, they may be more enlightened, have a better life.
Well, nice.
I mean,
Enlightened.
He's
huh?
come armed today. Wow.
He's probably with his new family.
Yeah.
Going,
Fuck
dude,
them."
here's the problem, man. I'm gonna go back, and those guys are gonna fucking make fun of me for getting a new family and stuff. And those guys are like, dude, you know what you should say? You should just be like, fuck you guys, man. If more people were like us and enlightened.
Sorry your life sucks so bad.
Well,
man.
here's the funny thing.
It must suck to just be such a hater all the time. If you were more
I
enlightened
think
like us, you'd gain a lot more, and there'd be more love and respect and peace in the world.
I think
we
it would
exchange
suck.
bracelets?
I think it would suck. I think it'd be terrible to be that concerned about what someone chooses to do in the off time. Like, people, I'd love to know if someone's
Jesus,
in family.
you're glaring lights on yourself.
Yeah.
On through the show and through social media. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. So
Actually,
you
I'm
cannot
not.
be surprised.
Actually, not.
Well,
I don't talk. I wouldn't even talk. You guys talk about this on the show.
You can't say it's unfair for him to comment on you because you are in
That's
the
not what I'm
public
saying.
eye.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm actually not even.
point.
No, fuck you, man.
No,
As always.
excuse me?
Dude.
That doesn't seem very tolerant when you keep yelling fuck you at me. You've called me
Yeah,
a
you're the
racist
mo-
today,
you're the-
and
okay.
you've told me to fuck off multiple times.
Okay, well, what a shock
Have you
that,
heard
as
it?
usual,
Oh, yeah.
your boyfriend,
Indeed.
you just give everything he says is just
My
perfect.
boyfriend?
Hey! Why am I being pulled into this?
And why did you call him gay now?
It's your boyfriend. I don't think Jay is, but
so I'm gay with a boyfriend.
So
who's
he's like
not
pumping
gay.
my leg. I don't want him to, right? Is that what's going on?
Anyway,
is that what you're saying?
Anyway, back to the point though is like I wasn't even saying that he doesn't have a right to email in. What I'm commenting on is his opinion on the subject that he's emailing about, and I'm saying that it must.
Your comment was broader than that. It was like, dude, what kind of life do you have that you have to write in and tell me how shitty my life is?
No, it was not broader than that.
That's what I heard. I could
what a
swear I
shock.
heard
Of
that
course
same
you did.
thing.
Of course you did.
No,
drill down on
of course
it.
you did. Yeah,
What's
of course
the
you
issue?
did. No, so it's like I would love to see some guy. I wonder if this dude's in fantasy football. I think fantasy football is stupid. So what? So what if I decide to just be like, wow, 45 years old, and you're really caring about some millionaire injuring his foot, this or that? Having said that, I don't care if people play fantasy football.
You just shit on it though.
No.
And what if some guy wins 30 grand in his fantasy football league and saves his family?
No. What I said was, personally, I think fantasy football is stupid, but I would not make fun of somebody playing fantasy football. It's the
you
idea
wouldn't
of
make fun of someone, but you just did. You said if you're going to care about some guy breaking his foot, who gives a fuck?
Can you see how this EDM thing kind of puts a target on you? I mean, it's a little out there.
That's not what I'm saying,
It's a
though.
little out there. You're
That's
38
fine.
years
I'm
old.
not-
You're hanging out with 17,
You guys
18,
are-
19-year-olds.
That's a fair point.
You've grown a new family. You exchange bracelets. You
That's
do
not what I'm
silent
saying.
discos.
That's not what I'm saying. I
Your
didn't
arm
say,
hurts from the beat
I
dropping.
did not. That's not what I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying that people can't comment on it. What I'm saying is it's too bad that it would bug someone or someone would care so much about what someone chose to do in their off time, and I would like to know.
Yeah, that email was about 150 characters. I don't think he cares that much.
It takes a lot of time to email.
And
not
caring
really.
is different than making fun of, and you have to admit there's a lot to be made fun of with the EDM culture.
I guess. I mean, there certainly can. I mean, yes, I understand, and I have fun with it too. I know it's not. I understand why someone would make fun of it, but you know what? It's crazy to me. You're some guy who's going to sit there and care about high school players and watch combines and who's recruiting to MSU, and that doesn't give you anything personally. It just other than I guess caring about whether this college team wins or not.
So when your college football fandom gives you a body high, then let's talk, is what your response is.
Enlightenment.
Because he's
I would
received
say-
enlightenment, he's reached nirvana, and he's had body highs. Okay?
I'm not even saying that people don't get it from that, but everyone gets it from something. Everybody has something that eventually
Me
maybe
personally
becomes.
stroke my penis to completion.
Yeah, that's mine
I
too.
do that too.
I'm gonna
but
take that too.
I like that. I like that as well.
Not your penis. I'd stroke my penis to
For the record.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't
be
know.
clear
The
about
record
that.
is clear.
It's all right. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not mad that he's.
Well, I'm
that he
glad
has
it
that
doesn't
comment.
bother you.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'll
It sounds like
continue
you
to
got
go
a
for
real
sure.
hang up with informed
Sounds like
sports
you do.
people too.
Yeah, that's
sounds
right.
like I do. No, what? I didn't attack gamblers and people who
You guys
care
are
enough.
fine. So ridiculous.
All
man.
right, sorry.
You're such an asshole sometimes, for real.
I was going to say we'll save the rest for tomorrow, but I think we should get this out now. I think we should get this out right now.
I don't.
E?
Right now, honestly,
State
I
your
don't.
case, E.
I don't feel
Not
safe
doing
right
that.
now in this room. He's clearly in a stew.
I'm
He's
not.
He's told me to fuck off multiple. Jay, you've heard him, right? And now he just said I'm an absolute asshole. He did, dude.
Came back from a little vacation, and he's hot.
I'm gonna stand over here.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna.
Can
I'll
you
talk about it in the
state
next
your
content
case?
if you want. I'm not talking about it here.
Okay, we'll move it to extra content. We got to wrap this up.
Wait, you're not gonna what?
We'll talk about it in the members area. We got to go.
All right.
Save the rest for tomorrow. Head to the members area to hear E spill on Mike.
Oh God, great. Can't wait. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.